Greetings once again, multiversal soul familia, and welcome back. This is our Miracle Manifestation and Mission Focus Monday messages. Yes, we're about to go into our 7-day outlook, beginning with seed and sickle for some signifier energy. And we are going to aim to make this one a bit more short and sweet. All right. So here we go. We're just going to get right to it. We had a card stuck in the box. Feverfew chose us, so it seems. So that's what we're going to start with, Feverfew. And instead of doing a super long-winded video with a little something for each day of the week, we are going to go with 3 cards. We're going to do the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the closing of the week. So, for the beginning portion of the week, we have Feverfew. Number 28. The bitterness of Feverfew is enough to keep rats and other pests from the door. So learn from its defenses. Don't surrender your progress for the sake of being nice. Be ready to protect yourself and everything that you've worked for. Some things are worth a fight. That's from the dawn. Now let's take a look at the dusk. Signifier energy for the beginning of the week. Known as a companion plant, helping others to grow stronger and healthier simply by being nearby, its strong scent protects its allies from insects and other pests. Friends and family are rallying around us right now. So we're being called to return some of that support as someone near us is struggling. Who haven't you heard from for a while? Reach out to them and return some of the love you've received from them in the past. Your own emotional wealth is bountiful right now. Be generous with it. So without it sounding a little too matrixy, it looks as though right off the jump, with something worth fighting for and also returning the support to family and friends who have been rallying for us and in our favor. For the beginning portion of the week, we're being guided to focus in those areas of our lives. And we will be called to some degree and some fashion to be their rock, to be their support, to be that lighthouse. But also with that warrior stance, like love and light but take no ish type of vibe, okay? So that's what we have going for the beginning portion of the week. Let's go into the Kipper to determine a bit more. about this situation. I just heard fighting the good fight. And for some of the collective, this is going to require going on an actual, like, physical journey. Like, in that literal form. Like, you may have to travel towards these people, places, things, and situations to be like that forerunner, that trailblazer, that protector, that defender. But for others, it's being placed on my heart that it's more about being that platform, that voice for the voiceless. Like that communication transit I just heard. That communication transit. For some of you, there is also going to be a departure that is necessary, which will also require you defending your decision to some degree. But it clearly involves others, because there is someone currently in your life who has been rooting for you, who now needs you more than anything. For some of you, this is a situation where you felt like you had to constantly defend yourself, and now you're just choosing to walk away. Like you already followed through with fighting that good fight, and now it's just time to be on your merry way. All right, now we're going to go into the Hungarian Gypsy Fortune-Telling Oracle. Anything else that we may need to know at this time pertaining to the outlook for the beginning of this week? From the Hungarian, we have several that just turned over and one that really slid out pretty far, so there's those. Alright, I'm going to make one full pass though here, so. And that was it. That was the full pass. So, let's see what we have. We have Lover. We have Fidelity and Marriage. Whoa. Love is in the air. Oh, love is in the air. Okay, so my device is back to doing that wonky, glitchy thing. I'm pretty sure there's a little something going on with the camera, but we're not going to allow it to deter us from this message, as we have 3 amazing cards here that I'm also being guided to let you know that it's not necessarily literally like having an encounter with a lover who is extremely devout and wants to level up with you. Okay, it's not necessarily that, but it could be. All right. trying to make a habit of mentioning that more. Traditionally, the Lover card represents that special man, husband, or boyfriend. The special man for a female seeker. If you are a female, this is your special man or boyfriend. It can also represent you as a male querent, the person accepting this transmission and message. This is also potential for a love affair. But with fidelity coming out at the same time, it has also been placed on my heart that not only are you going to do it the right way, but this is not going to be anything modern or traditional. Like, that's it. Spirit just said, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, and don't over-explain yourself. So, thank you, Spirit. In terms of the marriage card, again, it's not meant to be taken only in a literal form. It's commitment. So, double for our trouble. Double for our trouble. Double for your trouble. Double. Okay. So, let's see. I'm feeling guided to move along now to the midweek. This can also be something that perhaps you were less committed to. People, places, things, situations, vocations that you're taking a stronger interest in, becoming more devout to, offering more reverence to, and intend to be in it for the long haul with it. Yes. All right. Now let's go back into Seed and Sickle for midweek. The cards are still on the board. I just moved them out of the frame so that I can shuffle in the frame. Oops. All right, one more shuffle. Here we go. Midweek. Miracle manifestation and mission focused messages for the collective. Okay, we just made a full pass. So the card sticking out the farthest would be right about here. So that's what we're going to go with for our midweek significator, we have the clematis. So you aren't just opening up, you are rising to the occasion here. This is what I see intuitively. Waking up and rising to the occasion. Yes, eager to rise and reach towards the blazing summer sun. Confirmation of what I just said. You're not just waking, you're rising to the occasion. Confirmation right there. Eager to rise and reach towards the blazing summer sun. Its spiraling vines grab onto any opportunity that appears, putting its flowers in the best position to drink in the rain and warmth. This card symbolizes movement and momentum, a push towards the best position that will help you achieve your goal. Just to be sure to remember those who held you up on your race to the finish. So there's more confirmation as well, more clarity in terms of this week. Is there's going to be some action, but we're not going to be going at it alone. We are going to be called to be supportive of others. And what I'm seeing happening here is that in doing so, because that is the primary assignment, is to, discern who is that one who, needs it. And you will know, because it will be placed on your heart at the right time. You won't even have to stand there and really think about it at all. You will just know it's that right time, and you may not even put that much thought into it. It's just going to play itself out. All right, it's already done in the astrals, and now it's playing itself out. By you taking action, but also remembering the ones who held you up when your knees were failing you. Something about that is going to be extremely significant midweek. And also, no matter how hard the wind blows, it simply bends and does not let itself be broken, even when the river wears away at its bank. The willows... Oh, crap, that's the wrong card. Well, you were meant to hear that part anyways. You'll naturally want to resist the feeling of falling, but you may find that a fall isn't actually coming. And that it feels good to let go. Not everything needs to be controlled, and you may find that you've put enough safeguards in place to be able to support yourself even without clinging on so. You've been holding on so tightly to your control of the world that your fingers are starting to ache. But here's the thought. How about you try letting go? That journey of letting go, I just heard. So some will come, some will go. Some are here for a reason. Some are here for a season. Some are here for a lifetime. A lifetime of learning. a lifetime of listening, a lifetime of leaning in, and a lifetime of love. Okay, so we're going to go back into the Kipper for what to let go of first. Any messages of concern, and then what to take action towards. So, let go of any messages of concern. And lean into that found family. Embracing the unknown at the same time. Like, this is, when I see this card, I oftentimes think of the astrals. Like, this is where it all begins, is in the family room. The tea is on the table, but it hasn't yet been served. So it's already done. It just hasn't been played out. So yes, surrendering to that flow, that outpouring. An outpouring between two or more people. Combined. Man, Spirit, you're really putting me to work today. It's like making better choices. Better choices have been made and have been seen from the astrals. And there's about to be this warm and inviting outpouring. Fairness and equity. An outpouring with fairness and equity. So what I see here is that even going into the midweek, there's going to be a situation where you are going to be called to be the strong one. And instead of serving the tea piping hot, perhaps allow it to rest for a minute. Because others in this situation may need a little bit more time to digest the tea. Like, so really, another message I'm getting is that we're not meant to be the ones to be the consoler, to be the server, to be the host of that in that manner. It's more like being that shoulder for another while they pour their heart out and pour their eyes out, I just heard. We also have the main male. It's like the collective is being divinely appointed to be the one. Like there is something that you can do for and about these situations that no one else can do. And not because you're better or superior or the greatest ever at what you do, but because situationally it is the right time for you. So you will be looking out for others this week, around midweek. And Holy Spirit wants to remind you to remember yourself as well. Like, you're going to have to continue to look after yourself. Being confident without being condescending. Direct without being over dignified. And be a straight shooter without being selfish. Those are the messages from the main male intuitively. All right. Now let's go into the Hungarian for a bit more of what's coming in midweek for the collective. Oh, look at that one wanting to slide up, and it's in reverse. What is it? Sadness is being turned on its head. Yes. Overcoming sadness. But this is going to be a group thing. Like, 2 or more people are going to be coming together and overcoming some kind of grief and sadness, is what I'm being told by Holy Spirit. No longer flying off the handle about situations. Overcoming anger issues. and just allowing another to let out their frustrations. But remember, the original message of the card is that everyone involved is overcoming sadness, coming together. But the main family, see, main family is not necessarily your relatives. This is found family, and that has been a major theme for the last 2 weeks. The significance of, but also not leaning too much into others, especially when there may come a time when they need to lean into you. So leaning into that situational leadership, because you do have a better handle on things. And only you are going to know what those things are. Like, if I can do extendeds based off of these general messages to determine more on a personal level. But you would have to reach out for that and be specific about what you would like an extended message for, and then we can discuss arrangements from there. This is looking great though. Sadness overcame this week, midweek. And of course, with that situational leadership, being called to be that kind of comfort for others. That warm and cozy atmosphere for others. I just heard there's more than one way to shine, because there's a fire that's shining. There's light coming in through the window, but then there's also the chandelier. Oh, and the tea set is shining. Although it's a reflection, it's giving off that message of shining. Being that mirror. There it is. Being that mirror. Reflecting love back on that support system that has been pouring it out for you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And I'm being guided to tell you, you look great in blue. By the way, blue is your color. However, don't let anyone make you feel small by telling you that you don't look good in red. Wear that red. Wear it. But don't let it wear you. Alright. Yeah, see at the bottom, look, at the bottom of the deck, I wasn't even going to go back into this yet, but I did anyway. Look at all the red. And with this card in reverse, meaning being authentic, not only is the collective being more authentic, showing more authentic parts of themselves, but also we look great in red. And don't you forget it. And don't let them forget it either. So primarily the beginning and mid part of the week are going to be more about finding that balance between giving and receiving love, but not just the romantic kind. giving and receiving love. All right. So now we're going to go back into Seed and Sickle for the latter portion of the week. To determine the signifier for that portion of the week. That was one full pass. Nothing came out. And here we go. We have Asphodel, but I'm feeling guided to complete this second pass. Asphodel and Ivy. Two cards for, we'll just say, okay, so the beginning portion of the week would be like Sunday, Monday, but we're already into Monday. So that would explain the family room and why I said that some of this has already been done. It's already done. It's already here. It's just unbeknownst to the collective at this time. The results and the rewards are unbeknownst to the collective just yet. But with the Ivy here, I see so much growth. So much growth by the end of this week. Spreading that golden light, I just heard. The tenacious ivy vine. There is no height that can't be reached in your journey to find the sun. There's yet another message about the sun and summer. So for those of you in the northern hemisphere, this is pretty blatantly clear. In terms of synchronicities. Slow growth is still growth, and your achievements will be all the sweeter for how difficult the climb has been. And the asphodel is signs that we're going to have to be making some predictions as well. A sign that we too will have to make some big predictions soon. And they'll have important effects on our lives. So don't make them lightly, but don't take forever either, or someone may end up making them for you. Lately, it's felt as though you're nostalgic for something long past. Maybe an absent friend, an old place you used to go, or a food you haven't eaten for a while. Reaching out to that friend or recreating that time or place or visiting it if you can is exactly what you need to lift your spirits. So it looks as though the supportive encounter may not come until later on in the week. And there's a bit more detail on this situation as it's going to involve an absent friend an old place you used to go, or a food you haven't eaten for a while. But what's really standing out is in terms of being called to be that shoulder for others without forgetting about ourselves. Someone we have a caring connection with is going to need us. Someone that you have a close and caring connection with is going to need you this week towards the tail end. We'll just say between Thursday to Sunday, to be fair. Because the way I'm doing it here, like, we'll say early week would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then also part of that energy from Wednesday goes into Thursday, and then it creates like that domino effect of energy carrying over. But the energy that's carrying over is extremely positive and indicating that growth is definitely on the agenda here. The obstacles that blocked our way have become the ladder rungs that now hold us up. A testament to our journey so far. And that journey card came out. So now I'm getting with that journey card, in terms of going on a journey, it's more like going on a journey within so that we can share parts of that journey with those seeking support throughout this week. So instead of, while sharing your testimony, focusing on the trauma, focus on the troubleshooting, the tactics, the tips to how you got to your triumphs. And there are always going to be more triumphs. It's like for every leaf that continues to grow and sprout from these vines is another testimony of triumph. Don't be afraid to let go of your safety net below. So we're letting go of the safety net to be that safety net to a degree, but not literally. Because remember, there is also earlier mention of not forgetting ourselves. There is going to be some kind of leveling up that's going to occur with 2 or more people who are involved with one another in some kind of energetic exchange, but it's not transactional though. It's not transactional. It's unconditional. No one's keeping tabs, I just heard. Alright. Now, let's get a little bit more detail from the Kipper. Okay, I could have swore that there was another card already turned over. But we have the mature woman and the gift. For some of you, that mature woman is the gift. Unconditional. Requited. For some of you, this is having the ability to handle things with more grace and authority at the same time. Like that nice balance and marriage of grace and authority. And that in and of itself can seem like a gift to others. Although, as soon as I looked at her, it was like I'm hearing, yeah, but you're not getting all in your head about it either. You know, you're not getting all big-headed about it. You're handling it, handling the authority, accountability, and responsibility more wisely, maturely, gracefully. So this week, to a degree, all throughout the week, collective, you are going to be that gift to others. And I'm not talking about in some weird or like really messed up exchange either. It's like the light that we offer is going to increase theirs. Instead of, I'm hearing they had encounters where they stole their shine, and we as the collective are being called to be that support and help them restore that shine again. Or it's not even really helping them restore it to a degree, because it's like they never lost it. We can shine our light in more ways than one. We have the brightness here, we have the fire, and we have the lamp. And to a degree, it's like even the person in the image is like bioluminescent. They are glowing. It's dark. Everything in that image is dark except for them. That's us. We glow in the dark, collective. I don't promote wearing shades anymore, and I haven't for a long time. But a long time ago, like in my late teens and early 20s, I used to say, shine so bright, they're gonna need shades at night. Yes. And that's what's up. Coming towards the tail end of the week. But it's going to be like a group thing. Like multiple people are going to benefit and be affected and burn brighter as a result of following through to some degree with these predictions, which, with it also coming out that we're being called to be the one making predictions, you will either be making predictions or you have already been making predictions, and you are just finding confirmation for it here. So, let's draw this to a close with a little bit more from the Hungarian Gypsy, and then we are going to close with affirmations to carry us through the week. What the heck? We had the widower and the widow come out at the same time in the same pass. something that has been feeling nostalgic that may not have kicked off the first time. Something new. This is almost like an oxymoron. Something new that's also nostalgic, like from the past. Something from the past that didn't ever, during that time, like move past the beginning stages because something occurred. People, places, things, situations. For some of you, this is something that feels nostalgic or familiar, that is new to you, involving an older woman or a widow, like a literal widow. See, it's different for, because this is nostalgia. It's different. It's different for everyone. It doesn't necessarily mean a literal woman who is now a widow. This is something nostalgic, something from the past that can now be incorporated into our lives because it came out earlier in the outlook that the collective has been making wiser decisions with that mature woman and the gift. And the evidence of making those wiser decisions is catching the eye of others. It's increasing our light. Those wiser decisions are increasing our light. And this is not you feeling tempted to go back to the past. This is just something nostalgic to you that remained new, never went any further, that is now about to be incorporated back into your life. And no, I'm not talking about your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend either. So you might as well hang that up, because if that were the answer, it would have came out a lot more quickly than these messages here. We're doing it the right way, remember? Oh, see, now we also have the Lost card. So, sweetheart, subtraction. I see. Oh my gosh, this is, now look. This is too funny because I actually heard this earlier. I actually heard this earlier when I was listening to someone else. And they said, the addition is in the subtraction. The addition is in the subtraction. The counterpart. The perfect match. We now have divine counterparts on the table twice. something that's creating an increase in your life. Whether you're man or woman, man meeting up with a woman, woman meeting up with a man meeting man, woman meeting woman, blah, 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 that whole spiel. I'm not getting a whole lot of romance from this. Especially with, you know, the younger and then the older counterparts here. Like, for some of the collective, this is going to definitely involve romance. But for others, it's just more like a person, place, thing, or situation that has always felt nostalgic and familiar to you, that is meant to be incorporated into your lives by the end of the week. At the bottom of the deck, we have unexpected joy. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. So, we're going to just leave it there, because otherwise it wouldn't be unexpected, now would it? I'm being guided to not give any further details on that specific card. What we will do is draw this to a close with Beyond Lemuria. For some insights and affirmation. Here we go. Shuffle, shuffle. One more. Here we go. Closing insight and affirmation for the collective. We have stepping through. Let's take a look at the image. Oop. Stepping through. Beautiful. Let's see what it has to say here. Step in and step up all those dreams or projects you have been resisting. Now is the time to start, even if it's just one small element of the bigger picture. No more excuses or tomorrows. Whatever you have been putting off, the universe is now pushing you to make it happen. And that journey card is showing that you are moving towards it, beloveds. And when I say beloved, sir, ma'am, it is not a scam. You may feel a little outside your comfort zone, but this is where the magic is. You may need to plot a course, invent a way through, or take a leap. Break it down, allow the puzzle to come together piece by piece through the courageous act of making a start. As mentioned earlier, with the family room card being present in this message, for some of you, again, this is just confirmation of what you have already been doing, and it just hasn't been acknowledged. So perhaps you may have started to wonder, or that low-level spirit of self-doubt may have been creeping in. Only you are going to know what this means for you guys. It's only you are going to know what this means for you. But more than anything, it's like either stepping into your calling, stepping further into your calling for others, but also stepping into that situational leadership calling of being that support for another without putting yourself on the back burner. Don't burn yourself out, but do get started. Bottom of the deck, healing. A lot of that is going to be occurring this week for the overall most likely outcome and outlook. The Lemurians were healers, naturally intuitive and accustomed to navigating energetic-based realities. We all have natural healing abilities that are advanced when we deepen our energetic awareness. When we perceive the world beyond the more well-known senses, we start to receive information and wisdom different from that which stems from intellect. By tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we realize that anything is possible. Extend the margins of your awareness. Revisit a situation from a broader perspective or higher vibration with a focus on healing. There it is. Those familiar feelings, the nostalgia, the past. Normally, I encourage others to be deterred. Take the detour instead, but no, this card is saying that nostalgia, that those parts of the past or someone from the past who may need our support, blah, 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 that's it. Revisit. Okay. Perhaps the issue is simply an outdated or limiting perception placement. You have the ability to align to a fresh new timeline inspired by wholeness. There we have it. I know it's another long video, but in terms of the details, though, it's pretty simple, straightforward. You know, taking the bicycle path, kind of. That's it. That's all we need to know at this time. There will be occasional energetic updates all throughout the week, pop-ups perhaps even, and of course there's always the daily energy forecast updates that I know others are taking a liking to, because good old Mr. D is even putting some inspired energy forecast update messages into his rising messages. You know, part of me wants to think that it's out of spite because they can, but another part of me wants to think, ooh, he's inspired, she's inspired. And that's what we're going to go with. Keeping it love and light, but also keeping it a buck. That is also part of the agenda this week. Love and light, but keep it a buck. Take no ish. Because we might be love and light, but we are not love, light, and clueless. That is the message. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Multiversal Soul Familia. And with much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours. If you made it this far, you are a rock star. Brightest of blessings.
Wings heavy tonight in the empty room. His shadow lingers, casting soft gloom. Memories flicker like a flame in the dark, holding his echo in my splintered heart. He had the wings I tried to hold, feathers slipped through, no tether could fold. A twin ray, they call it, destined to roam. His light finds his path now far from home. Goodbye, my angel, shine where you go. Let the stars guide you brighter than the glow. If we're meant to burn as twin rays once more, you'll find me waiting on the shore. Nights stretch long, entangled in despair. The void he left is more than I can bear. But something whispers in the southern breeze, his truth is freedom, we've got to please. I release his wings, though I want to cry. Love ain't a tethered thing we can't deny. His freedom means more than my clutching hope. Don't cage the wind, don't trap the soul. Goodbye, my angel, shine where you go. Let the stars guide you brighter than the glow. If we're meant to burn as twin rays once more, you'll find me